The YouVersion Bible app has truly helped me in my Bible reading. Some of the features that have been critical in that I wanted to highlight for you today. Once it opens up to the home page, first and foremost, you want to create your own login. So your username and password, if you will, for this app. I'm going to go ahead and click on that top right icon to get to my profile. So once you have your profile set, you can connect with friends off of your Facebook or contacts. So all of your Bible history will be saved within this profile. To get back to the home page, I clicked on the very bottom left icon, Home. Right next to it is the reading icon, and let's get to reading. After you click that, it will take you to the place you were last reading. Let's say that you want to flip to or maneuver your way through your Bible. At the top where it says John 9, that is where I'm going to click right now, and it will pop up all of 66 books of the Bible. Now you can actually do the traditional or alphabetical listing, but I'm going to go ahead and stay in the book of John. But then to the right of John, you can actually see a little drop down icon, and I'm going to go ahead and tap chapter 3 and select that, and we are going to scroll down to verse 16. What I want to show you is as you're reading, there may be something that the Lord sort of highlights to you or speaks to you. And what you want to do is actually tap that verse, or several verses, if you will, a section. And as you do that, there will be a pop-up menu for you to have so many options, really, to memorialize what the Lord sort of did in that moment to you. So you can make a note, you can highlight, you can bookmark it, you can even make a cute little shareable image that you can post to your social media. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll down to verse 16. And again, I'm going to go ahead and just tap that. When I tap that verse, you're going to see that it will be underlined. And as soon as it is underlined, a menu is going to appear. First thing I want to show you is just a simple highlight. So instead of, picking up a pen, we're going to be selecting the color. As you can see here, verse 15 is already highlighted in green. So tapping that verse there pops up the menu, and I'm going to go ahead and just pick a color to highlight. It's as simple as that. Now I think I first chose the green color, and then what happens is it kind of ran into the first verse, but if I wanted to distinguish the two, I would just tap verse 16 again so that the menu will appear once more. And when I do that, I can actually change the color. Now, I know that may seem silly, but maybe you can have like a color coding system, or maybe if you're like me, you just want to see the difference between the two verses. So now I'm going to go ahead and select yellow, and ta-da! They are now different. And at the top it says saved. What that's telling you is back in your profile, you will have history or record of this being highlighted. Now, like I said, there are other options with this verse. Now, obviously, first thing that comes to mind is to highlight, but as you can see, we can actually do more. Another thing I want to show you is where it says compare. After you have tapped on the verse, you can hit compare, and this is awesome. Let's say you have found a verse that maybe you need a little bit more clarification on. And when you hit compare, it will pull up other versions of that particular verse. And those versions will typically be the ones that you have most commonly used. So you'll get familiar which versions are sort of your favorite. Again, this is super helpful if you're needing clarification or you just want to see more out of this verse or passage. And there's a lot to be said about the difference in versions, but obviously this is just a tool that I use quite a bit. As you can see, you can maneuver even here, previous verse, next verse, you can add a version to it. Plus play around with this. I just wanted to show you how quickly you can compare versions. Now I'm going to scroll down and pick the Amplified just to show you. If you hit that, it will actually take you then to that entire chapter in the Amplified version. It will actually change itself completely. And here I've actually highlighted these verses already. So the highlights are actually going to be different in each version. So the fact that you highlighted in green in one version, it may not appear in the other, but that's okay, because I actually tend to like to differentiate between versions. Now to read the full chapter, just hit read full chapter, and now the entire, Bible, if you will, you've switched to an entirely new different Bible, different version. I say different Bible as if it was, an actual book Bible that you had in front of you. You can easily switch between types. Now, another way to switch versions besides just comparing a verse is back at the top where it says John 3, that kind of tells you where you are, and then next to it, it tells you the version. If you click the icon, it will pull up the menu of all the versions, including languages. So if you wanted to even read it in a different language, or add another version to your, recently used, you can do that. You can download some of these versions onto your device so that you don't have to be using, Wi-Fi or data to read the Bible. So that's kind of cool. But the choices are plentiful. Back on over to the homepage, again, bottom left icon. The homepage is actually kind of fun. You can navigate that, but what I want to highlight is the verse of the day. It will give you, obviously, a verse each day. And again, you can change the version of this. So it looks like on this day, for whatever reason, I'm trying to figure out why it selects, probably because whatever version you're in, it will do the verse of the day in that. This one looks like it's the Message, if I don't remember correctly. But in any case, to kind of dive into the verse of the day, again, you're going to click right over the verse. So now if I click on the verse of the day, actually twice, it will take me to where I can find this verse now in the Bible, back into the reading section. It will actually move your Bible to, the verse of the day. In this case, it looks like it's in Isaiah 41. Now again, I can tap on the verse. There should be some images popping up here that you can select and save those and post those to your social media or send to a friend. You can even make one of your own. But again, I'm comparing the version, kind of studying it a little further. But there is plenty to do with just the daily verse of the day. The next thing I want to show you is actually how to listen to the Bible. And this will happen a lot if I am super behind in my busy day and I just don't have time to read, or if as I'm reading, I actually want to hear it at the same time as I'm reading it. There is a little speaker or volume icon at the top next to Isaiah 41, and then it says NLT and the little icon there. Now, certain versions do have the audio version and some don't, so be aware of that. But once you can find a version with the speaker button, you can listen to the Bible. Again, hit the speaker button, hit the play button.
See all your angry enemies lie there, confused and humiliated.
And as it's reading to you, you'll see the play and pause button at the middle bottom right there. And as you can tell, I'd hit the pause button. Otherwise, the voiceover would not be me. It'd be the gentleman reading the Bible. But the play and pause button can be smaller and seen at the bottom. The next thing I want to show you is actually how to watch videos that correspond with the Bible. So I'm going to go back to John 3. back to verse 16, and this actually is when Jesus is talking to Nicodemus. Now, to kind of get insight on this, I love these related videos. A lot of times if there's stories like this, they'll be sort of movie types. Other times it will be historical and context videos. So this is a movie type video, and again, the player is pretty typical. You can fast forward and all of that, but it's nice to be able to visualize the story in real time, or get documentary or history type videos to go along with the section of the Bible you are in. Back at the home page, at the bottom, you'll see the plans icon. Now here are my plans, my reading plans. I'm reading through the New Testament in 1 year. And then next to it, you can find new plans. Reading plans are great because they are off of themes or read through plans. So if you can read through the New Testament like I'm doing, or you can, search by a certain topic. For example, here, this is the 1 year Bible, and this is a great plan. Now, let's say that you pick another one. There's a sample where you can take a look at it. I've saved it for later, meaning that I don't want to have to go searching for this one again. You can rate it. Obviously, I've given it as many stars as possible. You can see what your friends have rated it for. Now, once you've decided which plan to start, once you hit that start plan, it's going to give you the option of whether you want it to be private or with friends. Now, by yourself means that it even gives you the option to show friends, kind of to keep you accountable or to get them interested in a new plan. You can make it visible to people so they can kind of root you on if you're reading the Bible through a year. With friends means that you actually get to invite people who can read this along with you. Now, this is a 1 year journey, but there are other plans that are good for a week or something. But you guys get together and you guys can keep accountable. Everyone's reading at the same time in the app, and it makes for a great Bible club. Let me show you the sample so you kind of get an idea what a reading plan is. Depending on who made the reading plan, there'll be the dates at the top, how many days it takes. In this case, it'd be 365. But each day, they will put the content in there. And as you click on those, for example, Genesis 3, it will take you there. So you don't have to navigate yourself. It'll directly take you to that section of the Bible. A lot of times, these reading plans will come with a short devotion or a video, whatever the reading plan producers decide will be in there. And if you're doing it with friends, you'll actually be able to see if everyone has completed it. So it's great for accountability that way. You'll see everybody's little icon, again, going back to that very first profile page. Within the reading app, you'll see if everyone can kind of check mark that they did it for the day. Now, obviously, this is a longer year-long plan. If you miss a day, not a problem. This is, again, a sample, but if you were actually doing this and you had some busy couple of days and you've got to catch up, there is an option to catch up. Again, this was a sample, but there will be an option to where it'll shift your days backwards a little bit and you can stay on target that way. But these reading plans are awesome if you want to focus on a topic or read through the Bible. That's how I use the app. I hope this really helps you guys out, and enjoy the Bible reading.